All right, hello once again. This is Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College, and I'm coming back with what may be the last presentation out of several that I've been doing that are going through and building a body mass index or BMI calculator using the different languages that we teach here at Rankin Technical College. So far, I've done a JavaScript BMI, a jQuery BMI, a C# console BMI, a C# GUI BMI, an ASP.NET BMI, a Java BMI, an App Inventor 2 BMI, and this is my third version, basically, of an Android BMI. Now, I did come up with a version 3, but for some reason I can't get it to run, so I'm back at my version 2. So just so you see, there it is. But right now, if I do just click calculate, I get an error message. It won't take even when I put my code in there to make that not happen. And all I can think of is what must happen is this code that's right here. Even when I remove that line. All right. In fact, I never tried that. I guess I could try that here. Come in here and not even have, let's just take the whole line and put it here. So I'm going to undo this and undo this. And we'll try that. I don't think, though, I really and truly don't think that this is going to work. But, you know, it's fine. We'll try it anyway just to see. Got to come back and comment that out and comment that out. Okay. So what I was trying to do was to make sure that if there was nothing in here, or if there was nothing in here, that you just gave an error message and, oops, that wasn't good. You gave an error message and you left. That's what I was trying to do. And when I tried doing different iterations of this, all that appeared to happen was rather than giving me that message that the input was blank, the program just blew up. So I'm expecting that that's what's going to happen here. But we'll see. All right, click calculate. See how it stopped? All right. So it appears as though that will not work. So again, I'm going to come back in here and take and comment out all of that code. All right, and my line, I like to take my variables and put them all near the top of the program or on top of the method or whatever I'm working on. So now we don't need this line anymore. I guess I already had it in there. All right. So it should be back to where it was before. But now I want to do a couple things. All right. First thing I want to do is this calculate the BMI. Well, here, this is validating the height. This is validating the width. This is figuring out the status. This is building the output string. And this is basically assigning the output string. Let's start with this. All right, we've got this clear method. That's what ends up being called when you click the clear button. I think that's okay to leave it where it is because technically this is a method that we're calling here. But we could have this. To have clear called another method called clear is kind of silly in my opinion. All right, but we could go and do this. We could grab this right here. And I think what I'm going to do, just to make sure I don't break anything, I'm going to copy this. Public void and this build output string. And I'm probably going to need some, or I might need, yeah, there's result. All right, so string result equals that. All right, and I need the BMI value and I need the status. All right, so we've got a double for BMI value. And a string for the status. All right, which means that when we call that in here, and again, for now at least, I'm just going to take and comment this whole thing out. All right, and that includes this line here. All right, so we call this build output string. And we are passing into that the BMI value and the status. Okay. All right, I see no errors there. And I've got that down here. So let's start by file and let's do a save all. And then let's come back to here. Don't know if it's going to actually have implemented our changes. Let's do a build, clean project, build, rebuild project, and try to run it again. I'm modularizing, in other words. And I'm not going to worry about checking everything that I've been checking as far as checking all of the different error conditions. I just want to put in a valid value for the height, a valid value for the weight, and make sure that it prints something. All right, that's kind of what I'm concerned with right now. Appears to be taking a little longer than I thought it would. No idea whatsoever why that wouldn't work, because there's nothing major in here. So build output string. Build output string, BMI value and status, which have already been declared. There's the BMI value, there's the status. The status has been set right there, there, or there. And the BMI value was set here. So that all should be okay. And all this is doing is basically outputting the information. But it does not appear to like it, as you can see. Seems very easy here, and I don't know why to break this. And like I said, I don't know why that's the case. But I'm going to do a build, clean, build, rebuild. One more build, clean, build, rebuild. Try to run it one more time. I think that you can see, or at least hopefully you can see what I'm trying to do though, and that is just to start to modularize the program. Like I said, I had no idea why something like that would cause this not to work. But I believe it was going to come up, it would come up right now. So. Error installing APK, and I've got that message before, so I don't know what the darn error is with that. But you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on, and there's a few things that I do want to show you. Okay, so that was one. Here, I can also take all this stuff where I'm doing the status. You know what? This is way too many things to comment out individually like this. So I'm going to come in here and comment out this whole section on doing the status. And we'll just call this, I'm going to pull all that code out. And we'll have public, this will be a string, determine status. All right, we'll need the BMI value, double BMI value. All right, and we'll have to come in here and say string status equal the empty string. Okay, then down here we will call determine status, and we will pass it the BMI value. That should eliminate any errors that we have here. Now it does. Okay, so when I get done, I'm going to have to return status. So what you can see when you look in here is what I'm starting to do is to go in and modularize this. So I could have validate height and I can have validate width. I could put those in their own routines as well, but hopefully you see what I've done here with the determine status in the build output string is I've now determining the status here and returning it. I'm now building the output string here and setting it. All right. Not a very good start to my morning because, again, when I come in here and run this, it appears to not like, the system appears to not like what I'm trying to do. And what I'm trying to do is nothing major. Maybe it is. Now it looks like it came up. So if I come in here and put in 72 and put in 111 and calculate, I'm still getting my stuff. But my status isn't coming up. So let's clear this. That's all working now, it looks like, except for my status. So why isn't my status working? Got here return status. There was the status being called by determine status, and the reason for that is I should say status equal determine status. All right. Now, again, I don't know if it automatically is going to catch up here. Still, it's not. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to stop the run, and I'm going to just try to do the run again. Not worry about rebuilding or anything. So again, it may or may not work. Again, I've had problems with the third version, so what I'm going to do here is leave both versions in here, version 2 and version 3, but I'm going to take version 2 that I had here and I'm going to comment out that code that was in there, and that's what I've been doing. So 72, 333, calculate, there's my status back. Okay, so there's that. What else can I do here? So I'm setting my status. I could put my checks in here. So I could come in here and I could add another variable. Hopefully you'll understand what I'm doing in a minute, but I could call it Boolean. And we'll call this bad input flag. Bad input flag. And we'll assume we're going to set it to true. No, we'll set it to false. We'll assume that we don't have bad input. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this where I'm checking for the height. And again, I'm going to comment this out just the same way we just did it. And let's call a routine that's called validate height. All right, so we will write another routine in here, right down here, public Boolean validate height. All right, we'll need the height, so That's an int height. So when we call validate height up here, all right, and we're going to end up putting it here, and then we'll do the weight in a minute. So validate height, which will pass the height. Okay, in just a minute we're going to type in, I'm going to comment it out for now, validate weight, and we're going to pass it in the weight. So we're going to, it's going to be identical basically to height, except change the H's to W's. So validate height. Boolean f equals false. So if the height is bad, so to speak, all right, we'll set that out of range, and we will return true, because that's saying that it's a bad height. Otherwise, we'll return false. All right. Now, the good news is this is exactly, and I mean exactly, the same routine that we need to write for validate weight. So we'll put that in right away. Weight W, 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 W. All right. And after, so I can come back up to here, now uncomment this and comment this out. All right, so now when you look at it, here is my calculate the BMI. All right, so I declare all of these variables. Now look what's all commented out. But I call a routine to validate the height. I call a routine to validate the weight. I call a routine to to do this for the status, and I call a routine to do this. Now, I call this bad input flag. So what I want to do is I want to set bad input flag equal to the result of that, and I want to set bad input, oops, not good. And I want to set bad input flag equal to the result of this. Well, that was interesting. All right. If this is true, so if indeed it returned true, I just want to return. I'm done. Let's put some comments in here, which should help hopefully a little bit. Call validate height method to if height input is invalid, have the method set an error message and stop program run. All right, that's the first thing. I can grab that same comment. In fact, I can grab all of this and replace that. And now we'll call validate weight method if the weight input is invalid. So this is validate weight, and if it's bad, return. All right, so that should handle both of those. Now call determine status method to, why, I guess it's a shortcut there, to determine underweight overweight or optimal weight status. Call build output string method to both build and display the BMI. I guess it builds and displays the height, the weight, and the BMI status. Let's look at that. Make sure that there's nothing that looks broken here. So there's my routine to validate the height. There's the one to validate the weight. Notice that that's going to be a W, and so does that. Again, I've mentioned before, those are the problems that you can run into when you do a lot of copy and paste. Okay, there's determining my status. That all looks okay. There's building my output string and presenting it. That all looks okay. So if this works, I'm going to run it in just a moment. Then I've taken all of this code that was in line in more or less my kind of my main, I guess you could say. All right, and I've replaced it with this code, this code, this code, and this code. So I have totally modularized the program. So let's stop the run. And then let's run it again. In fact, let's cancel and let's try one more build, clean, build, rebuild. And now let's run it. Hopefully I didn't break anything. Hopefully it comes up fine. Because then if it does, I'm done with 1/3 of the things that I said that I was going to do here. Looks like I am getting that error installing APK. I'm hoping I'm not. I don't know why that comes up. I guess I'll have to investigate that further. All right, there it is. So it should work exactly the same. 72, 111. There's my stuff. My clear still works. If I put in something that's out of range, I get my out of range height. I get my, whoa, all right, something's wrong there. Let's go and check it. So let's look at my invalid, or my validating weight. I may not have changed a height to weight in there, we'll see. So we called bad input, validate height, bad input, validate weight. We passed it in the height. Build, clean, build, rebuild. Build, clean, build, rebuild. Stop the run, start the run again. So you can see that this is the life of a programmer. It's writing code, testing it, refining it, testing it some more, refining it some more, testing it some more, etc. You're going to be doing that. All right, you are going to be doing that as a programmer. Just telling you right now. Try running it again. Appears as though sometimes, okay, there we go. Now, if we put in an invalid height, I'm sorry, we already checked that. I didn't want to do that. So if we come in here and we put in a valid height, but an invalid weight, this is what I'm concerned with. Do I get the invalid weight message? And we do. So there's the invalid weight. There's the invalid height. And if we do put in something that is valid, we get our stuff. Okay. Everything appears to be working. So there's two more things that I'd like to do here. All right. First thing I'd like to do is, and I've been having problems with this, I don't understand for the life of me why, but this double works just fine. That works. All right. But what I want to do, and I'm going to try this to see if I can get it to work, because all this is done, what I'm about to show you is broken the program previously. All right. But I want to show it to you anyway. And that is, so this is something I'm going to get to next. But rounding a number to 2 places in Java. I don't know if this is the one I looked at, but looked at a couple of them. I tried this system.out.printf. It didn't like this at all. I tried this string format. It didn't like that at all. All right. There are ways that you can round numbers, and there are ways that you can do it easily, and there are ways that you can do it that really are a pain in the behind. Let's try this. Copy. All right, I'm going to come in here into my code, and before I print out this BMI value, okay, I've got this string result. I'm going to put in a double, and we'll just call it temp, and we'll set it equal to 0.0. All right. And in fact, we don't even have to do that. We can set that right away, equal to math.round BMI value times 100 divided by 100.0. Okay. Then I'm going to try to change this to double dot string. I'm going to put that in there to temp. I don't know if this will work. I have absolutely no idea. My goal here is to have the BMI print out as 2 decimal places. Build, clean, build, rebuild, build, clean, build, rebuild, rerun. Okay, now normally when I've done this again, well, let's see. So we're going to try it. I have no idea if it took, see, BMI stopped. So there's something in there that's making this break. There shouldn't be. I don't know why it's having a problem with this. Math.round. I'm just going to try something just for the heck of it. I'm going to put in here, let me take this line that I put right here. I'm going to comment that out. And I'm going to just put in here 25.0. Okay, that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to just literally hard code a number in there. File, save all, build, clean, build, rebuild, build, clean, build, rebuild, run it again. Open the app again. All right, let's see if it gives me 25.0. And it's still giving me, it's not even printing out the right, it actually is printing out the correct answer, but it's not printing out what I told it to print out here. Now that's interesting. File, save all, build, clean, build, rebuild, build, clean, build, rebuild, run. Since I have temp there and there, it should be giving me 25.0, but as you just saw, it does not appear to be doing so. All right, I'm a little concerned also here that it's not refreshing my screen, which I think would be wrong. See, so that still looks wrong. So let's try it one more time. 22, just put 11 in there. See, it's still figuring it out. All right, so this is not working. So let's close this. Again, the emulator can be very hinky, for lack of better words. I'm going to try to set this back to what I had before. Like that. And I want to see if that works or if that still breaks the program. So, build, clean, build, rebuild. Build, clean, build, rebuild. Run, run. And I want to see if it breaks this right away, so if it immediately comes up, and I'm at 30 minutes already, so. See how it says it stopped? Open the app again, so I'm going to try to open it again. BMI, it keeps stopping. It says close the app. So there is, I'd love to know what is making that break. I don't see anything that should be stopping that from breaking. The other thing I can try is to come in here and type in decimal formatting Java. And Java has a decimal format class where you can do, see, I'm sure there'll be better examples than that one. All right, that's too much. Here, where we can do something like this. This is the number formatter, not the decimal form. It's a new decimal format, so let's try that. I no longer need this. All right, this is going to have to go back to BMI value. Okay. This is going to require another import statement. Import java dot text dot, I think that's it. I think this is the one, decimal format. We'll find out. All right. If I still get an error down there, that's not the right one. So, yeah, that's not the right one. Now I've got a new decimal format, but there might be a number format too. I don't know. So if I put number format here, did that fix this? Yes, it did. All right, so I've got this double dot toString, and this is called formatter. So if this works, I have to do this, formatter dot format, and then put in the parentheses all the stuff you see right here. So let's do this. Let's put this, I don't want to do that. I'm going to put this on another line so that you're able to read all of it. All right. Again, no idea if this is going to work or not. All I'm trying to do is to get my BMI to 2 decimal places. File, save all, build, clean project, build, rebuild project, build, clean project, build, rebuild project, rerun. And again, I'm running way over on time. I apologize for that. I hope it doesn't right away say that the program is stopped. If it does, I'm almost at a loss as to what to do to try to actually make this show in 2 decimal places. This shouldn't be that hard of a concept. I want to come back and I want to do one last thing in the next video, which will be the last video, and that is I want to talk a little bit about colors. So let's try this again. Build, clean, build, rebuild, build, clean, build, rebuild, run. Hoping that this comes up and it shows me my interface. I don't know why it wouldn't be. It's not showing me anything right now, which is never a good sign. Try it one more time. Let's run program one more time without rebuilding it or anything. See if I can get this to come up. All right, now 72, 222, calculate. Oh my goodness. So you can see that for some doggone reason, I don't know what it is, it's not allowing me to do this. There's nothing wrong with this number format that's right here. I could have put another one in there because you could have a BMI, I suppose, that was that big. All right. But the formatter, not formatted, it does not like this. So I'm going to get rid of that. Just leave my double to string, which means I now have one too many parens. Okay, I'm going to leave it like that. So I don't know what that problem is. I will come back in just a couple minutes with the end of this program.